Hello there YouTube, this is Team Buddyfight here again, this time with a deck profile, and more specifically Legend World, and obviously Asgard. This deck is pretty much for trade, since I use it, but I don't use it that much. I prefer the Knights of the Round Table, which is the one that I'm trying to make right now. But yeah, if you're interested, just let me know. Obviously, I just have PayPal. So we've got 4 of the buddy Hraesvelgr. There's pretty much everybody uses him as a buddy. I could use him more Fenrir as my buddy, but I definitely prefer him because it's easier to play. So, for Hraesvelgr, he has the stats of 6-2-3, and he's size 0. To call him, you need to pay 3 gauge. However, if he is discarded from your hand, you may pay 1 gauge, and you can call him from the drop zone by without paying this cost. So technically, his call cost becomes 1 gauge if you discard him, which is a great combo with some of the cards I'm gonna show you. Next, we've got 4 of the vanilla, the Frost Giant. Hrimthurs, I don't know how to pronounce that. His stars are 5-1, 5-1. It's a size 1. That's pretty much all there is. It's just a 5k power to critical. Next, we've got 4 of the King of the Forest. I could also use him as somebody, but I don't really like him. I only use him for gauge, then I just either replace him or let him get killed. So when his stats are pretty low for a size 2, there are 3-2-2. And however, he has the awesome ability that whenever he's called, you put the top 2 cards of your deck into your gauge. So that's good in this deck, because this deck is extremely gauge heavy. Like, it's even more gauge heavy than Skull Warriors, and that's a lot to say. So it helps a lot. You definitely need to run 3 or 4. Like, I run 4 because, you know, it's better. But you could run it as 3 if you want, because he's not an Asgard, so. But, yeah, let's pretty much all there is to it. You can just use him as either a crappy defense or for gauge. And if I'm not mistaken, oh no, it's an obligated ability. It's put 2, it doesn't say you may. So, next, the combo is Hraesvelgr. This card is run 4. What does he do that you have to run 4? First, he's a size 2, which kind of sucks. But he has pretty good stats for a size 2, except for the critical. Like, it's a 5-1-6. And when he enters the field, you discard any card from your hand. And if you do, you draw 1 card. So this is pretty much for getting rid of a Fenrir, Hraesvelgr, anything that you don't want in your hand, and just draw another one. So yeah, you need to run him at 4. Like, there's no arguing with that. Next, 4 Demon Wolf Fenrir. Obviously, this is the guy that you want to take out in your deck. Like, he's pretty much the guy that's gonna either win it for you or help you win it. His stats are amazing for a size 3. He's a 10-6-7. But his cost cuts it pay 1-5 gauge. He doesn't have an actual ability, because all he does is that if he's on the field, he's not affected by Gleipnir, which means that he can attack. But other than that, like, he has some. You could call him a vanilla in a way. But yeah, that's 6 critical with Ragnarok. That's like overpowered. Next we've got 4 Rune Staff. Rune Staff is pretty much the main weapon of your deck. Like, pretty much the only weapon that you need to run in this deck. You pay 1 gauge to equip it. However, by tapping it, you get 1 gauge. You can use that once per turn, or as many times as you can stand it. For now, it's only once. Also, the life payment that you will need to pay for great spells, yeah, you don't have to pay it with this. If you have that equipped, you can just use a pace gauge and cast Ragnarok without having to pay the 2 lives. So, extremely useful. You don't need to have it equipped, but you should. Like, it helps a lot. Next for spells, 3 Breathen Gard. Breathen Gard is pretty much your basic spell destroyer or nullifier. You can destroy your own spells, so that's very important. You can destroy Gleipnir. And yeah, you just pay 2 gauge to cast it. It's a counter spell, obviously. If you have Berserker, which I don't run it, you can take you can pay 2 gauge and return this to your hand. But the main purpose of this is either to nullify a really crappy spell that your opponent has, like that's gonna pretty much finish the game, you just nullify it, or to restore Gleipnir. So, obviously, that said, we run 4 Gleipnirs. Gleipnir is pretty much a normal spell, I guess. Its cast cost is that you need to take a size 3 from your drop zone and put it into his soul. It's a set spell, and if it would be destroyed, which means you can destroy it with this, you can bring out that size 3 for free. So with Fenrir, you don't have to pay the cost, and it's not supposed to attack, but Fenrir says that he still can, so it's a very good card in this deck. You need to run at 4. Another card that you need to run at 4. That's that spell, great spell, Fibulwinter. It's not obligated to run at 4, but like most people do because it's really good. You set it obviously. Then when you put it on the field, you take the top 2 cards of your deck and you put it into his soul. Then whenever you start your turn before drawing, you remove 1 soul. When it has 0 souls, you draw 1 card, and then you start your draw phase. But it's always before the draw phase. After you stand, then you use this. So that's a very important card in the deck. Next, pretty much the finisher of the deck, I guess. But it's really hard to actually pull it off, like to actually win with this. Where is spell Ragnarok? You may only cast it if Fibulwinter doesn't have any souls and is still in the field, which means, Fibulwinter without souls. You pay 3 gauge and 2 lives, but with Rune Staff you don't have to pay. Then the first thing that you do for all of those that play Seeger, your hand goes to the drop zone first. So yeah, you can call the second form of Seeger or the third. You send your hand first to the drop zone, and then the field gets destroyed. Symbel Gard does not work here. So if you have Seeger with, let's say, 1,000 souls, it's still wouldn't, this is still gonna destroy it permanently. So doesn't matter how many souls you have, Seeger is gonna die, and you're gonna take the lifelink damage. So yeah, that's pretty much the main spell of the deck, the one that you want to play, even though it's hard as fuck, but you want to play it. Now for nullifiers, obviously, this is a staple in any Lane World deck. The 4 Holy Grails. Holy Grail is pretty much your basic nullifier. Your center has to be open, which is kind of difficult to do, actually leave your center open with this deck. Which is why I'm thinking of switching this for Power of Mythology. The only bad thing about Power of Mythology is that you need to pay 2 gauge to cast it, but it's still worth it because it nullifies any attack. Gets penetrate to one of your monsters if you want, or resets their power by 5,000. So yeah, this is probably gonna be turn into a part of Mythology. It's way better. But yeah, this you could run it in the hero deck or the White Archer deck, depending on how you run it. If you don't run weapons on your White Archer deck, then like yeah, you're doing it wrong. Lane World needs weapons. Next, for Shield of Achilles, pretty much your damage reducer. Like, let's say your opponent casts an impact that isn't Gargantua Puncher, obviously. You cast this and you reduce the damage by 2. Or if your opponent attacks, you reduce the damage by 2, etc. Next, the staple card of the deck that you must run for, even though it's a pain in the ass to get, is the 4 Symbel Gard. Symbel Gard, if you like, it's your basic draw power. You may only cast it if you have 6 or less life, which in this deck is pretty easy. If there's a Breathen Gard in your drop zone, and you don't have to pay the cast cost, which is pretty awesome. You pay 1 gauge normally, and when you do, you draw 2 cards, but you may only cast it once per turn. So yeah, definitely gonna switch Holy Grail for Power Mythology. Sure, the deck is extremely gauge heavy, like you need a lot of gauge, but it's really easy like to use. The only thing that this deck needs is pretty much the new card that's called Loki.